guys for coming today. I'm going to do a little presentation called Restored to Perfection. And what I'm going to do is teach you a little bit about how to restore furniture and breathe life into an old piece of furniture. So first I'm going to talk about, there is kind of a famous blog in the world of refinishing. Her name is Heather, and her blog is called Home to Heather Modern Hive Life. And she goes through and gives some really good tips about how to choose your furniture, what pieces to restore. And one of the things, we're going to back up a little bit. She gives you some tips like you want to do a rickety test. So if you want to take a piece of furniture, kind of give it a rickety test. See if it's solid, if it's going to be a good, valuable piece to restore. You want to look and see if the piece has been painted before. If it's previously been painted over, you want to stay away from it because people may be trying to hide flaws, or there may be something wrong with it that the paint is covering that up. You want to ask yourself, will this increase the value of the piece? And will it take on a new life in your home? And so if you can answer those few questions and feel good about it, then let's go ahead and restore it. So first you want to gather your tools. You want to get your chalk paint, and this is my new favorite thing to use. It's a method of painting that there's Annie Sloan. She created chalk paint. She's kind of the founder. There's since been other companies that have kind of copied it, but she has founded chalk paint, and it's just a fabulous paint that you can paint over furniture without even sanding it. And as long as it's got a fairly smooth finish, you can paint right over it without sanding, and you'll get an excellent result. The next thing you want to gather is your finishing coat, which is either a wax or a glaze. You can use pretty much any chip type brush. It doesn't need to be real high quality with this paint. So any type of paint brush. You want a soft rag and a wet rag. So old t-shirts work great. You want to use a rag that's not going to leave any type of residue on the chair. So first you want to clean the furniture, and you don't want to use like dish soap or laundry soap because that'll leave a residue on the furniture. So you want to make sure you use a really good wood oil soap. Okay, and you want to also avoid cracks. So when you're cleaning the furniture, if you have a wet rag and the soap, any big cracks you want to avoid so you don't get moisture inside those cracks. It can cause swelling in the wood. Okay, and the application, super easy. The first coat, you just want a really thin coat. You can see here that it's just get it on there, and it's okay if it's not covering it fully. And then you want to give it about 30 minutes to dry. You want it to be dried fully before you apply your next coat. After it is dried, I've got kind of a dried piece up here. You'll see that this paint is so amazing. It just covers right over it. It doesn't leave brush marks like traditional wall paint if you're using that. It just goes on really smooth and gives just a complete coverage of the wood. The next step, allow that second coat to dry, and then the next step would be to apply your finishing coat. You can use a wax finish, but that will give it kind of a higher gloss and a more contemporary overall look. And a glaze is going to give you kind of a old world, roughed up look. And when you're applying the glaze, one of the kind of a local well-known refinisher, her name's Cheryl Davis. She's given me some really good tips over the years. She said, don't use a brush because you kind of want it to be uneven to give that real rustic look. And so using the rag, an old t-shirt, you can just apply, this is still wet so I'm going to be real careful, but you just want to kind of rub it on and then rub it right off. And that's going to give you that real nice old world finish. And try not to be too perfect with it. It's okay if you have some heavier spots than others. And then your wet rag, this is, if you do like, sometimes in the grooves and places you might get it on a little heavy, you just take a wet rag and go right over it. You can almost wipe off that top coat completely and let it dry, and then you can start over again. So I think it's just really exciting to be able to take old pieces of furniture and restore it. So I hope that you guys can take these tips and get excited about restoring furniture. Thanks for all coming, and I appreciate you being here.